Well, I might as well start with my official welcome to the 2020 NACDEP virtual conference. Good morning, I'm Susan Kelly, and I have had the great honor of serving as the NACDEP president this past year. Our world has been turned upside down with the past few months, and I hope that you and your families are all well and that you're able to find some silver linings in this stormy time. We were, of course, very disappointed to move our terrestrial conference planned for New Hampshire to a virtual format, but I think you will enjoy the next 2.5 days that have been planned. If you have never been to a NACDEP conference before, this will give you a great taste of who our amazing NACDEP members are and the great work that they are doing. We are also a high-touch group. You may have noticed that already. So you will miss some of the great networking and social time that's a highlight for us during our conferences. So I hope you come back in future years when we can meet in person. I want to thank Charlie French and Adam Hodges and the 2020 conference co-chair. They're the 2020 conference co-chairs, but also their committee, who worked for the past 2 years to put this conference together. You will see their names on the last page of the program, and you will see how many committees and people it actually takes to put together a conference of this magnitude. And I'm taking a risk with this because he's a co-host and will probably mute me, but I have to thank Brian Raisin. He calls himself our virtual conference volunteer, but he has worked the past 2 months, countless hours in figuring out the best way to do this. This is new territory for all of us. And we had only seen one other extension conference when we started planning that went virtual. So I knew Brian was the guy to ask, and he has done a great job. He planned this out, trained a tech team. We have great volunteers working, and even turned into an educational experience. So watch for that journal article from Brian on conducting an academic virtual conference. And thank you for all of you that volunteered to be Zoom hosts as well. It's scary, even though we Zoom all day, to be a Zoom host. So sit back and relax in your dining room tables, your home offices, the park bench, wherever you are doing your work these days, you're in for a great treat. We have great presentations, plenaries, and even social time planned for you. And a special thanks to the Southern Rural Development Center and Catherine Sperling, who has developed our landing page that's made this an easy conference to navigate. If you ever get lost, just go back to the SRDC page and you'll be able to find all the sessions. And finally, a thank you to our sponsors. They signed up for a very different experience to sponsor, but they all hung with us. Our sponsorship committee did a great job maintaining sponsorships, which is the key to making a positive cash flow for any conference. I believe now more than ever, community development extension has an important role to play in helping our communities recover from the crisis caused by this pandemic. My hope is that this week we will all increase our skills and bring back tools to help in this important work. And now, a welcome from our incoming president and conference co-chair, Adam Hodges.
Thank you, Susan. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see so many folks on. We have 138 now that I can see. And I really, part of me wishes I could say welcome to Portsmouth this morning. So you understand, especially some of the new NACDEP members, understand the level of leadership and the level of professionalism of this organization. We planned 2 conferences this year in 1 year, because we fully planned a Portsmouth conference. We were ready to go. We wanted you to be there, and we waited till the very last minute that we thought we could to make the shift to a virtual conference for your safety and for our safety, and because we want you to be at our conference. And we realized that if we had held a physical conference, some may have been able to join us, but a lot would not have. And so this was the best way to make sure that NACDEP could meet this year, and that everyone could be involved. And I have to thank Charlie and all the folks in Portsmouth and on the committees that really helped put that conference together. And I have to say that what that did was that was a springboard then for the virtual conference. And so we weren't really planning a virtual conference from scratch. Luckily, we already had all the sessions worked out and we had presenters, and it was just a matter, and I'm not trying to make it sound simple because I know for a fact it wasn't. Brian took on the Herculean task of converting all these physical things into a virtual world for us. And I can't thank him enough for his leadership in stepping in, and for Susan Kelly as well. Charlie French is my co-host in Portsmouth, and you know, we had spent a year planning a conference, and it was a little depressing, I guess, to have that taken away. And immediately Brian and Susan jumped in and led the effort, and I just can't thank them enough for the leadership that they showed in putting this together. So have a great conference. I know it will be. You know, we've got a great few days planned. I love the fact that we have quite a few people who've joined us who would never have been able to make the trip to Portsmouth. That's wonderful to me, that we're out actually allowing other people to experience NACDEP that might not have otherwise been able to do so. And so I look forward to a really bright future for NACDEP. I foresee that this virtual level of conference could potentially continue with the physical conference. And again, I think that's great for folks who just can't make it to the conference but still want to have that NACDEP experience. So have a wonderful conference, and if you need anything, I'm always here for you, so just let me know. Looking forward to taking over from Susan this afternoon.